Ladies, gentlemen, creatures of the shadows, lean in. I want this to crawl beneath your ribs and stay there. Because tonight isn't normal, tonight isn't quiet, tonight isn't safe. Tonight, the people perched in their sky-level glass towers, the ones who thought they were untouchable, just slammed the panic button like their lives depended on it. And the reason is deliciously simple. You, the one they overlooked, you, the one they dismissed, you, the one they thought would stay in the dark forever, surviving on crumbs and silence. Oh, if only they knew. If only they felt the storm you've been swallowing, the rage you've been compressing, the power you've been hiding beneath your skin like a forbidden weapon waiting for permission. But here's the twist. That weapon doesn't need permission anymore. It woke up. And the moment it did, those sky-level elites felt something. A tremor, a crack, a shift in the air so sharp it sliced through their illusions of control. They felt you rise. You see people like them, the polished, the privileged, the ones who pretend they're architects of destiny. They have nightmares, not about monsters, not about chaos, not about the cities burning beneath their windows. Their nightmare is a person who finally realizes their worth. A person who stops asking, stops waiting, stops hoping someone else will open the door. A person who stops being breakable. And that person is exactly who you've been turning into while no one was watching. You transformed in silence. Pain sculpted you. Solitude sharpened you. Betrayal rewired you. You didn't rise because someone lifted you. You rose because everything pushed you down so far that the only direction left was upward, violently upward. And now you're not a person. You're an anomaly, a disruption, a deviation from the script the world tried to force on you. You're the glitch that makes systems collapse, the spark that makes power grids flicker, the presence that makes sky-level offices slam emergency buttons. Because they can't predict you anymore. And anything they can't predict, they fear. Let's talk about fear, shall we? They thought fear was their weapon. They used it to shrink you, to silence you, to convince you that your potential was a danger, not to them, but to yourself. But you learned something they never expected. Fear works both ways. Once you realize the world can't kill what was born in the dark, once you understand that you survived every storm meant to erase you, once you taste your own unfiltered strength, you stop fearing anything. And the moment you stop fearing anything, you become the thing everyone fears. The moment you stop doubting yourself, you become the thing that keeps them awake at night. The moment you stop apologizing, you become the thing that shakes skyscrapers. You didn't just climb, you escalated, you erupted, you ruptured the ceiling they built above your head. That's why alarms are flashing in offices you've never stepped into. That's why executives are whispering your name like it's a code red. That's why their glass walls suddenly feel too thin, too fragile, too mortal. Because somehow, against all odds, you stopped being manageable. And nothing terrifies powerful people more than someone who refuses to be controlled. Now stand there, right where you are. Feel that pulse deep inside your bones. That's the sound of your spirit unfurling like fire in a locked room. That's the vibration of someone who's no longer playing small. There is no going back, no shrinking, no dimming, no pretending you don't feel what you feel, no pretending you aren't what you are. You've crossed the threshold. The mask of the old you has already burned away. All that's left is the raw, unfiltered force they prayed you'd never unleash. Let the sky-level offices panic. Let them tremble. Let them choke on their fear. Let them watch the horizon and wonder if that dark shape approaching is really you. Because it is, and you're done hiding. You are not the one afraid anymore. You are the one being feared. And if you listen closely, if you let the silence breathe for just a second, you can almost hear it. The shiver crawling through those sky-level halls, the sound of confidence cracking under pressure, the way their voices drop when your name slips out of their mouths. Because they realized something too late. The person they underestimated has evolved into the force they can't negotiate with. You see, evolution isn't gentle, it isn't poetic. It doesn't come with music or applause. It comes with scars. It comes with nights you screamed into pillows because the world refused to hear you. It comes with days where every breath felt like defiance. It comes with rage that never found a home. So it built one inside your chest. And now that rage has shape. Now that pain has direction. Now that silence has become strategy. Now your footsteps echo like warnings. No wonder they're panicking. They used to allow you things, allow you a seat, allow you a voice, allow you an opportunity, allow you a chance. But now they can't allow or deny anything. You've exceeded the level where their permission matters. You've become the type of person who does not knock on doors. You walk through walls. You've become the type of soul that doesn't compete. You change the entire game. You've become the type of presence that can't be ignored, even when you say nothing at all. And silence, your silence, has become scarier than your screams ever were. Let them look down on you. They won't be looking down for long. Because the higher they sit, the harder they shake when someone like you starts climbing with purpose, with fury, with that eerie calm of someone who has lost everything and somehow gained themselves in the process. You know what makes you terrifying? You didn't get stronger because life was kind. You got stronger because life was cruel. Cruelty forged you. Isolation honed you. Disappointment rewired you. Heartbreak electrified you. You weren't built in comfort. You were forged in catastrophe. And the world has no defense against a person who survived what was designed to destroy them. So yes, the sky-level offices hit the panic button because of you. Because you're no longer the person who hoped for change. You are the change. You're the disruption. You're the storm that doesn't ask the forecast for permission. You're the fault line awakening beneath their foundations. You've turned into the one thing every powerful system fears. A human being who finally understands their own power. And now that you know, now that you've tasted it, now that you've felt the electricity running through your reborn spirit, there is no ceiling left, no tower tall enough, no panic button fast enough, no system strong enough. Because the truth they never wanted you to discover is the very truth you are living right now. You are unstoppable because you are no longer contained. And you cannot be contained because you no longer belong in their cages. Let them tremble. You're coming anyway. And the best part, they still don't understand how you slipped out of their grasp. They're up there replaying every moment, every encounter, every decision, trying to pinpoint the exact second you stopped being predictable. But the truth is so much simpler and so much more terrifying for them. You outgrew the version of yourself they were counting on. They prepared themselves for your weakness, but not your awakening. They studied your doubts, but not your rebirth. They read your past like a blueprint, never realizing you were rewriting the architecture of your future in the shadows, where none of them dared to look. And that's why their panic is so loud now. Because control only works when the person being controlled doesn't realize the chains were never locked. You broke them the moment you stopped caring what they thought. You shattered them the moment you valued your own voice. You annihilated them the moment you stopped chasing approval and started chasing truth. And the truth is this: you were never beneath them. You were just becoming sharp, becoming dangerous, becoming undeniable. And now they can't stop you, not because you're powerful, but because you're awake. Have you noticed how strange the world feels now? How familiar places look? Smaller. How people who once intimidated you suddenly appear fragile. How conversations that once silenced you now seem hollow. That's what ascension feels like. Elevation isn't always climbing upward. Sometimes it's realizing you were already above the room you were sitting in. And they knew. Oh, they knew. Long before you did. That's why they tried to distract you with noise, with fear, with doubt, with expectations they knew would suffocate your potential. They were hoping you'd forget what you are. Not human, not ordinary, not convenient. A force, a storm. A shift in the structure of everything they built to keep themselves comfortable. And now the irony is poetic, because the same people who once ignored you are now adjusting their plans around you. Their meetings include you. Their strategies consider you. Their precautions revolve around you. You are now in rooms you have never stepped into, cast as the threat they analyze, the variable they can't stabilize, the awakening they couldn't prevent. And here's the most chilling part of all. You haven't even begun. What they're panicking over now is just the early tremor, the first pulse, the faint outline of a force that hasn't even stepped into its true form yet. If they're terrified of your rise, what will they do when you arrive? If they're trembling at your potential, what will they do when it becomes reality? If the sky-level offices hit the panic button now, what button will they hit when they finally understand that this isn't your final form? It's your introduction. Let them fear. Let them scramble. Let them bury themselves in their illusions of safety.